race fans, welcome back into another edition of Tuesday Night NASCAR. Here back for some more super speedway action here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Here for the Fr8 208, the second race of the season here for Tuesday Night NASCAR. 135 laps of action. Don't have Art in the booth here tonight. He's a little bit under the weather. But these, I believe, 42 drivers are not there here. Going to send at least 5 people home tonight after the 2 laps of qualifying to set the field for the 135-lap main event. Stage 1 concludes at the end of lap 30. Stage 2 concludes at the end of lap 60. 3 green-white checkers if needed. 3 total tire sets. Fuel run needs to be updated, but it is 50 to 60 laps, just depending on draft and everything else. So 50 to 60. And 0 fast repairs here at Atlanta, so expect to see some more attrition, especially at these drafting tracks, and Atlanta the most unique of them all on the schedule. Mike McConville, your winner last week at Daytona. We'll see if he can go back-to-back at the drafting tracks. Big shout out to TrackCams22.com for providing the incredible camera angles that you'll see tonight. And that is all our race information. Final seconds of practice underway here. What better time than to go ahead and get some of the logos shown real quick. The American Legion Auxiliary. Help support the league and everything in the background, including paying the broadcasters themselves. Obviously, Tuesday Night NASCAR, thanks to them for having us out. The series itself. Checkered flag is in the air for practice. And it is go or go home for a lot of people tonight. Top 20 locked in from last week's race in points. So we'll go ahead and get that up on the screen once it is switched over to qualifying, and there it is. And Jeff Carson, the first man out on track. Go ahead and switch over to your tower, and we'll show you as they get ready to do their up to speed. That's the ticker. We need the tower. Here are your top 20 locked in from last week. Just fully expand this as there's no lap times being set just yet, but Mike McConville, Daniel Moynihan, Will Young, Brandon Minto, Hunter Kent, Logan Giesbrecht, Sean Rogers, Gabriel Lafrene, John Wilco, Aaron Mack, Chris Davis, Keith Long, Tane Hodison, Matt Mackin, Rich Jett, Claude Furland, Bennett Allen, Richard Pruitt, Bobby Blazer, and Steve Herring in a tie for 20th are your locked-in drivers this evening. Everybody else, 21st on back, and anyone that didn't have any stats last year or even last week, they will have to race their way in to the main event here this evening. See there, Jeff Carson going to do a lap and then bring it on back. And just follow some of these drivers. Looks like Richard Pruitt might be one of the first ones to set a timed lap. Along with Derek Bacorn. You just, at this point, just be ahead of anybody. It's 5 or 6 people were sending home. So the further you can be up the field, the better, as these times going to come in hot and heavy. 31.096 for Mr. Pruitt. The time to beat in the 24 machine. Times are coming in hot and heavy. Someone that will need to qualify into the race. We'll bring up these driver details. Making their season debut. The attempt, Casey Pfeiffer. Sitting 4th quickest right now. Tane Hodison to the top of the board, 30.866. Claude Furland, Hunter Kent. Looked strong last week and will be in the show again. 7 minutes remaining in qualifying. Already starting to see here Sean Rogers. 22nd place, 35.36 on his first lap. Second lap puts him 6th quickest. Mitchell Davies, another one making their debut here tonight. He'll have to qualify in. Looking good as it stands. 24 times on the board, down 31.87 to Andrew Stacy. starting in race number 3 here in a couple of weeks, we will have the updated stats for everybody, including their live position and points entering tonight's race. So during qualifying, it won't be relying on 2024 stats anymore. What about you did? It will be what you did last week, the week before, so on and so forth. 28 times on the board, Logan Giesbrecht. He's locked into the show. He'll be 12th quickest. You just don't want to be anywhere near the bubble in case a locked-in driver has a moment during qualifying, because that was the case last week. 35th and 36th got bumped from the field due to 2 drivers underneath it not electing to qualify. Similar situation this week. We're sending 5 or 6 home. Jacob Carter making his debut as well, I believe, this season. They're going to need a good time, and I think P5 will do it for him. So the 14 will race. Dane Hondison still the man to beat, 11 hundredths of a second over Hunter Kent. We have 32 times on the board, with at least 4 drivers out on track right now to make it 36. Chris Davis, Bennett Allen, Moynihan's locked in, Chris Claude in the 10 machine, Eli Tomlin. 33 times on the board, make it 34. Jake Watson gonna have to qualify his way in. 1 start last year for Eli Tomlin. There's last week's winner about to start his lap. 35 times on the board. Chris Claude will make it 36. Let's go on board with him for his second and final lap. Underneath the apron, legal in qualifying. Just want the quickest possible time. 33rd quickest for Mr. Claude. And it's all about just holding it wide open. This is open setups. We forgot to mention that last week, but this is open setup league. So about fine-tuning your setup. Qualifying for the race, do you just want to get in and see what happens, or are you tuning out for the race? The decisions these drivers have to make throughout the week and in preparation. Second lap for Chris Claude, 33rd to 29th. Here is Mike McConville. Under half the session remaining. J. Randall Watkins, 36th place. Andrew Deemer, Benny Hudson all in that bubble. We'll check the points here in just a second. Just to confirm, Jake Watson will need a big lap. McConville, 37th quickest, but it does not matter, because he is your points leader. He'll officially, if he could improve, which I imagine he will, that was a very slow lap in preparation for the second lap, will bump Randall Watkins, assuming he's not locked in, but I don't remember calling his name. He'll get bumped out. We'll write this down for next week. We'll have it written down and all that. Easier to keep track of. And Mike McConville, 38th to all the way up to 26th. So that bumps Randall Watkins out. John Crawford trying to bump himself at least into the top 36 and then let the points be where they may. His second lap good enough for third. He'll be in the show this evening. Jake Watson's first lap, 39th quickest. And he has to qualify his way in, so needs a big second lap. And 40 of Jake Watson will lock himself into the show. The solid second lap, did just enough. Matt Mackin, second lap, P7, he'll be racing tonight. John Wilco and Rich Jett not electing to qualify. Looks like they did that last week as well. That is all 42 drivers that signed up. They are in the session. Let's go ahead and start going through this. just look at your bubble times first. You see Casey Pfeffer, he will not race tonight as it's his debut, and looks like Rich Jett will bump him out. Casey Pfeffer going home, courtesy of John Wilco. Richard Fr8, let's check. He is locked in, 37th place, so he will come up from underneath the bubble, and he will knock out. Trying to check here. It looks like Jeff Carson potentially going home as well. Randall Watkins is going home. Andrew Deemer's going home. Benny Hudson is going home. We're starting to thin this out here with a minute left. But yeah, John Wilco, Rich Jett in the show. Randall is out on time. Andrew Deemer's out on time. Benny Hudson's out on time. Richard Fr8 in 37th is in due to falling back on that 18th place point standings. Casey Pfeffer in 36th, going to get bumped for the guys below him. Keith Long in 35th is locked in. Jeff Carson in 34th. Double check, I don't see that name. Find yourself on the bubble, you start looking through this stuff. I do not see Jeff Carson, so we're bringing in Richard Fr8, John Wilco, and Rich Jett. So that's going to bump off Casey Pfeffer, Jeff Carson, and is it Chris Claude going home? Let me just double check. I have my math right, because we're bumping 3 up based off points. So the 3 lowest not in points would be Chris Claude, Jeff Carson, and Casey Pfeffer, I believe. And Benny Hudson, Andrew Deemer, and Randall Watkins going home based off time alone. So that would be your 6 if I have everything correct. Not sure if a league owner has a provisional to fall back on as sponsor's choice, but we'll see. Here's a better way to show it. We're talking about. Let's bring in, minimize it, but let's go down to this last page. John Wilco, Rich Jett. We'll just do this very unofficially as it's during warm-up time. We're not missing anything. Mike McConville confirming he is going home. So yeah, 41st and 42nd. Same strategy at Daytona. They are not going to qualify. They're going to start at the back of this field, try and preserve their trucks. Completely acceptable strategy. But you see here on this points, Rich Jett locked in, John Wilco locked in. So they're going to bump up from 41st and 42nd. And then Richard Fr8 does as well. So those are the 3 underneath. So we're sending 3 from underneath up. Knock out Casey Pfeffer, Jeff Carson, and Chris Claude. And going home on time alone is Benny Hudson, Andrew Deemer, and Randall Watkins. That'll be it. That's a completely normal strategy. Just avoid the chaos. So your league owner going to get DNQ'd here. Like we said last week, there's something about that personally I love. No disrespect, he signs off on our checks. But they're bringing in so many people that it makes this a possibility. You love to see these full fields and making qualifying mean something. Obviously, it's harsh at the same time. It's based on one race at Daytona, but such is the rules. But we'll have more after this. It kind of settles into the meat and potatoes. We don't have a drafting track. There's less chaos. And if you have pure speed, then you'll find yourself navigating towards the front. Got to get through the drafting track. Single car qualifying, obviously. The drafting track gets wide open, so it's a lot of setup. Based issues, potentially, as well. If you're setting up for the race, but you don't have points to fall back on, you can find yourself in a dangerous situation. That is the game that all have to play it. We had 42 people here tonight, so 22 people had to worry about it. But I personally love to see the bigger fields and making some, essentially LCQ qualifying or last chance or, bump day qualifying. I personally love to see that. We'll go ahead and get this off. I think we've explained our position. I think we understand who's going home, and we can go ahead and get ready for the race. And we'll see it right here. Randall Watkins was disqualified. Benny Hudson, I think he left before he could get disqualified. Casey Pfeffer, Keith Long, and Jeff Carson. But I thought, did I read that wrong? He was locked in, was he not? Unless he volunteered his spot. Yeah, he should be in. Keith Long was disqualified. Jeff Carson, I understand. Keith Long should be racing tonight. All right, well. Fair enough. We'll go ahead and get this off the screen, and one will be done in 30 seconds. Bomb! Thank you for the raid, good sir. They did swap to 2025 points, so yeah, Keith Long should have been. Art's under the weather, so they got me doing a solo booth at a super speedway, so we'll just see how this goes. Appreciate it, brother. 135 laps, 2 stages. We saw a great finish last Saturday in the real-life version of this race, so hoping for the same here as the final seconds of the warm-up click off. It's not what we don't want to see in the race, but that's how warm-up concludes. Yeah, so interestingly enough, too, Keith Long is in voice with Chris Claude, our league owner here. I imagine, they're the same team, so I think he DQ'd his teammate, but let's see. I'll get some clarification later at some point, but here we go for the grid. Tane Hodison on pole. Let's see if we can get a quick interview with him. Let's see if I can find him. Here with the driver number 45 machine, Tane Hodison. You got the pole here at Atlanta. What's the mindset here for the opening 30 laps?
I'm thinking as long as I can stay in front of the chaos, I'll stay up here. But once if I drop into like the mid pack or any of that, I'm probably gonna drop back, and some of my teammates hopefully will go with me. And then, yeah, we'll just see how the race goes on. It's an ever-changing race, so.
Absolutely. Here at Atlanta, congratulations on the pole, and we'll let you get ready for the race.
Thank you.
Pace car is off. So I'll just say, just for the viewers at home, it looks like Chris Claude is in the race, and maybe Keith Long sacrificing for his league owner, his teammate. I don't know. Suppose every adult is allowed their own decisions. But here we go, 135 laps. It's a 30-lap sprint. It'll be pretty quick here at Atlanta, all things considered, a super speedway. So if they can keep it green and clean, we'll be flying here to the end of the first stage, and same with the second stage. There'll be that sprint, or kind of the enduro to the end here. 36 trucks, no fast repairs. Atlanta a little bit narrower than Daytona, even. I think it. Well, what did they say? I forget. 4 feet wider, smaller. I don't know. Very close in size. Somehow, some way. Banking's a little odd. Handling does matter here more so than Daytona. They got 3 sets of tires they'll have to manage, so if they're involved in a wreck and they slide all over the place, that will catch up to them in the long run. But we'll see how it goes. Pace car is off. Tane Hodison, your pole sitter, will get us underway here at Atlanta through the Geico restart zone. And we are green for the Fr8 208. And already an issue here with the 06 machine. Big checkup, and he gets run over by last week's winner, Mike McConville, and he gets forced into pit road and can't force a mistake by making a speeding penalty, making it bad to worse. He'll get the stage caution. No, shouldn't be any damage to that the 06 machine. But already some interesting action at the back of the pack. Tane Hodison will lead the first lap from pole. No bonus points for leading a lap. It's structured exactly like real life Truck Series. Only a bonus point for the fastest lap of the race, which can come at any time, any place, due to the draft. Early eyes on Hunter Kent. He was super aggressive last week, but under control in that 50 true truck, and he'll lead the second lap. Jeremy Paris behind him, pushing on that outside line. He's already going to make his presence known. He'll drop down right to the bottom of the racetrack. Just outside the top 20. Did have that fastest lap due to the draft effect. Just tucked up tight behind the 40 of Jake Watson. But no 3 wide to speak of, at least intentionally. Knowing that it's Atlanta. Oh, 34 washes up the hill a little bit. John Crawford, good reaction by Moynihan. Not run him over. Definitely at Atlanta, you're going to need to mind your P's and Q's. Trucks will start getting tight. There is a car involved. It's Andrew Stacy. And we got a wreck. Diego Rodriguez, Mike McConville spinning. There's Chris Claude, and others pile in. There was a whole lot going on there. First caution of the evening. Jamie T. Beasley involved. Let's go on board. This will be right what you need to see. Got a truck in the fence and truck washing up the hill. Big checkup. And Jamie Beasley nowhere to go. So early issues here at Atlanta. Let's take a look here with McConville. What he had to do. You just saw him in front of Beasley, but he's just going to take a hard left to try and not hit anything. And he gets away with it somehow. But Diego Rodriguez all out of shape. Looks like help from Andrew Stacy, but that is the one truck. The 37 of Eli Tomlin into the wall. He just kind of drives down there on the apron by himself. He gets loose, actually. The back end step out onto the apron, checks up in front of Diego Rodriguez. Brandon Allen runs into the back of the 21, who then just holds the brake to not overcorrect in front of the field. Andrew Stacy, CJ Erdman. We have the 88 machine there going by of Michael Witt. And then that is the 64 machine of Matt Mettler sneaking by. Unfortunately, Jamie Beasley not as lucky. There's also some shenanigans there with the 07 and the 75 Stoney Benfield. Into the right rear of that 07, who actually is able to hang on to that truck. And then Beasley with the blown motor. No fast repair, so his race effectively over before it began. Due to circumstances outside his control. Just like that. Let's Let's quickly see, too. I'm curious where that 37 ended up. Eli Thomas looks like he's fine. He was the truck originally in the wall, and he got a little bit of help there from the 95 of John Crow Sr. Just a tiny bit of help, and he couldn't hold it. But that is not what caused the issue behind him. That was the one of Mackin, Diego Rodriguez, and the huge effect behind them. Cautions are quicker here, so I'm thankful for that. Just like that, essentially a third of stage one nearly complete. You see Beasley on pit road. He'll be there for a while. Fr8 was 2 laps down due to the infraction, getting spun down pit road, but now only 1 lap down, still the stage to go. 34 trucks still on the lead lap. Just a handful of trucks at the back of the field electing to come in. Obviously the ones that had some damage. How Mike McConville didn't wreck, I don't know. First restart of the evening. Hunter Kent, your race leader, had made a big move right before that caution. Help from Jeremy Paris behind him, and they will control this restart here. Green flag back in the air. Great restart for those two. 43 caught napping just a little bit, but he's last season's champion. I think he'll be okay. Bolster there leading the inside line, unless Furland elects to come down. She does. I thought it was interesting, truthfully, that kind of the incidents we saw last week and then an early one here, there was nobody really forcing the issue. You know, we're going 3-4 wide, we just ran out of room. It was more so just a simple mistake. It wasn't anything like, oh, I'm just going to be intentionally reckless. It was a moment that Mackin would have wanted to have back, I'm sure, and Beasley would have... Oh, he's actually back out there. I'm shocked the engine wasn't more messed up than that. Yeah, just a simple mistake there. He got loose on the entry to turn number 3, and that was all it took. With these open setups, you have these things trimmed out, man. So hopefully we can get some long runs to showcase who's got a really good setup. As we have kind of a top 17 pulling away here. Michael Witt, Matt Metler, Matt Mackin. He's now on pit road. Oh, there's just something wrong with that truck. In the one machine, so I wonder if it looks like he's got damage initially from that wreck, kind of just holding everybody up. It just does not look comfortable, and I think he just parked it. Try and get some fixes to that one truck, but he is not the start he would have wanted. He'll spin it off, way off the racing surface, and he'll tow. So we're back to the lead here with Hunter Kent. I bet you that's why that top 17 formed up, but Michael Witt, Matt Metler were able to catch. Leaving Derek McCorn and Bennett Allen. The next 2 trucks in line. McConville will try to get them reorganized. Yeah, Rodriguez on pit road. I'm shocked he didn't pit under the yellow. He had a hard hit from behind from Beasley. Beasley was able to pit. Keep going, but we got problems at the back. Mitchell Davies through pit road. And that just broke loose on him as well. So this is a handful for these drivers. And he'll get a penalty for that as well. Unsafe entry, speeding. So that'll make that worse. So these trucks are loose. in the early going, different than what I remember this just being a plow box pushing up the racetrack. But we'll see when we get some laps on these if it handles the same way that I remember. Nice 19 truck pack. We've nearly split it in half. There's Davies coming in to serve his penalty. And just for anyone curious, it is structured. It is structured like the real life pit entry. And that is pitting with the new lane in turn 3 at Atlanta. Everyone needs to familiarize themselves with pit road entry in turn 3 and be cautious early. If we get green flag pit stops, you'll see some special things. The race could be very easily won or lost. Like Beasley's back in. Biggest mover so far. Bobby Blazer in the 90. He looked very good at Daytona. Got wrecked late a couple of times, but still managed a lead lap finish. Locked himself into this week's race. And runs inside the top 15. Pretty stable 2x2. Matt Mackin is back out. And like we saw last week at Daytona, every point will matter. Trying to get yourself locked in foreseeable future. Just keep building those points. But Beasley was, he's back on pit road, but he was very clearly locked into 36th with a blown motor, a heavily damaged motor, but he was up to 34th, so they're already swapping positions well into the back of the field. And it was a tie for 20th, so it was very close. If you can see there's the lane that we're talking about. You can see those different sections. That's what the drivers are expected to use. Let's go on board with your race leader. Actually, the inside line will see it better. We'll show you what the drivers will see. Off turn number 2, and there it is, right there. You got to meet access road speed, which I believe is 90 miles an hour. That'll be a handful if they could do it. It won't matter in stage 1 or stage 2, but if they put together a special last stage, it could matter. Already 2/3 of the way done this time by. It is relatively stable. The fight for stage points right there. John Crow Sr., Bobby Blazer, Brandon Minto, the first row out of that stage points. And any one of these 19 drivers could get up there and get it if they force the issue, but they got a truck in one piece right now. We'll see what they elect to do. Only 9 laps to go till the end of stage number 1. Fuel not a concern. Second pack will not catch. And that goes from 20th to 28th. Rich Jet, John Wilco sticking to their strategy. Logan Giesbrecht all by himself. Gabriel Lafreniere kind of out of sequence as well. And then the lap trucks behind them. Will all depend on your help and the organization behind you. They work towards the end of this stage. How much are you willing to risk? For just stage points, not the race win, not the final, where they pay out the points, but just for 10, all the way down to 1 additional bonus point. Up to the drivers to decide. We saw some great racing at the end of stage 1 last week. I expect similar here. they are pretty incentivized, I believe, based on what we saw last week. So just like real life, no tires, no passes below the apron. I think they give them a little bit of a grace period like most leagues do at Atlanta. Let you put 2 tires on it through the tryover. He's wrecked. No one's making a 3rd, 4th lane down there. Lap trucks will have a decision to make. And he made it well. So I will most likely be the first man 1 lap down. He's not really worried about fight to stay on the lead lap. He is the first man 1 lap down. Heartbreaking for Fr8. But that would give him the lucky dog for the next car. 5 laps to go. Haven't seen any antsiness. I'm just content to be pretty much 9 rows double wide for the most part. Kind of ebbs and flows. Hunter Kent, Claude Furlan. Guys behind him, how much do they want to push? 41 way up the hill, Will Young. Keeps it out of the wall, though. Momentum with the high side down the back straightaway. By about just over a truck length. Entering 3, low line, fights back through 3, shortest way around the racetrack. And the momentum fights back just a tiny bit on the outside. Be a dead heat at the finish. Give it to the 43 that time by 3 laps to go for stage number 1. Only 1 caution to speak of. Oh, the 14, Jacob Carter. Hang on to it. They're starting to get some wear in these tires. He looked a bit out of shape there. Falls back a little bit from Hodison, so Hodison ups the ante. Gets right on the back bumper of that 43. 3 wide to speak of. 43 with the advantage. Low line working very well through 3 and 4. Kent has the momentum into turn number 1, but that by that point, it'd be too late for the stage. 2 laps to go. The caution comes out now. That's the stage, so they're trying to get every inch they can. 43 looks like he was a little sideways. 5 definitely looked a bit out of shape there. 52 was closer at the line. Would have had it white flag for stage number 1. And they are fighting hard for it. The guys at the back of this field said, hey, we're not going to risk it. We're dropping off. The action's up front for the win. Everything else will be decided by a matter of inches. So here we go through 3 and 4. Slight edge to the 43. I think he's got it. Little sideways, though. He's fighting. He washes up the hill. They're 3 wide for stage number 1. 43 got loose. Give it to Hunter Kent. What a finish, but they're wrecking behind him. There goes Will Young and Moynihan. Oh, and he does catch the inside wall just a bit there. What a finish to stage number 1. Let's take a look at what happened behind him. See there, yeah, they did not advance their position under the apron, but yeah, that 43 wide open. You can just see him trying to fight it. He washes up the hill. No contact is made anywhere in the top 3. Then he comes down a little bit. And there's contact right as they hit that transition to the apron. That slows down Carter just enough. Moynihan into the side of Jacob Carter. He's going to get big contact on that nose. He's wrecked your lucky dog. We'll let Hunter Kent make his pit stop. Then we'll get an interview with the winner of stage number 1. Brittany Steers, racing driver. Solid season in a part-time starts in 2024. He's out and away. We'll let him merge off too, and then we'll bring him in. Those guys, looks like they might have taken the wave around there. They do have a little bit more laps on fuel, and they assume that it'll be a wreck with everyone bunched back together. We'll catch the pace car. Let's go ahead and bring him on in. Can I not? Oh, move to, there we go. Here with Stage 1 Winter, Hunter Kent, the 52 machine, looked very strong at Daytona last week. Picked it up right where he left off with a thrilling Stage 1 win here at Atlanta. Hunter Kent, you got a copy? All right, we'll move him back. But congratulations to him for winning stage number 1. Jeremy Paris, teammate right there in second. Mitchell Davies, the third driver, making his debut in season 1 in 33rd, but still fighting. he's out there driving, so he's not away. We talked to us last week though. I'm pretty sure. It's all right. We'll line them up. Stage 1 just a bit shorter, naturally, because we count caution laps, so we lose a couple laps of racing. 27 to go to the stage, so it's right there. I mean, it'll be quick if they don't wreck. You saw right there. Couple guys still trying to get damage fixed from early incidents, and everyone's still fighting. Except for Diego Rodriguez, 10 laps, and that's it for the 21 machine. Beasley still fighting. Mack and Davies, Fr8, all those lap trucks still going. A little bit of shenanigans at the back. Like we added a lap. But yeah, we're still trying to get to know everybody. So it's not like our past leagues where we've been together a couple seasons. Yeah, we're just going to pull you in. We got so comfortable we do it during their pit stops, but I understand it. Everyone will be good on fuel. Looks like a couple people either took fuel only, Minto only an 8-second stop, Andrew Stacy, Ron Fitting, or even just 2 tires due to the length of their stop. So that could be something to keep an eye on. We'll see if they have any handling issues or if 2 tires was the right call. But lights are off on top of the pace car this time by going back racing lap 35. Let me just double check real quick. Make sure one's number loaded properly. Yeah, 1 through 10 looks good. Giesbrechts did not load, that's why I'm having to leave this. 1 through 10 was good. 11 through 20 is good. We saw 21 through 30. Let me get... It's only Giesbrechts, so we can do that real quick. Won't miss a thing. Actually, I'll crank it up on restart. There it is. Here we go for the restart. Lap 35. 34 completed, and we're back underway here at Atlanta. Let's crank it up. inside line, surging just a bit. Sean Rogers all over the mat. Beast Mode Performance drivers 1-2 right now. Kent back to fourth. 40 machine, Jake Watson. Heard there on board with Chris Quan. They are lifting already. Right off the restart. So it shows the they don't give them a fuel strategy, at least for the opening 2 stages. They make up for it by forcing them to conserve tires. 30 trucks. Fr8 alone for the lucky one. And behind him, Jacob Carter will be 2 laps down. Then Mitchell Davies, Matt Mackin, and after that, they're purely racing for already. But looks like that is the 14 machine, I believe. 3 laps down. He was on pit road. And yeah, it'll register it right from here too. They have made it official just to show them what we're talking about. This is the official pit entry. It registers as entering pit lane right here. So maintain access road speed. And then you have to woe it down to pit road speed. So thank you to Jacob Carter for that demonstration. So we're back up front. Chris Davis continues to lead with his teammate behind him. Third, champion from last season, fifth. Hunter Kent fourth. Biggest mover right now. The man in second place, Sean Rogers, started 19th, sits second. Rico in danger of going a lap down before the end of the stage. Probably will if we don't get a caution. Last week's winner finally has a chance to be a little bit racy here. He is in the lead draft. Just barely, though, got Jeremy Harris, who got shuffled out just a little bit. Fighting side by side with Mike. Let them move the lead back to see if they can hook on to the back one for Derek Korn. No drafting help from the Columbia, so they'll have to do it the hard way, and he's going to lose time hand over fist. 15 laps to go next time by at the end of the stage. And some help behind him with Eli Tom. Looks like Jeremy Parrish is dropping back a little bit. Right up there with his teammate. Checking in on some of these guys here in the back, just trying to set themselves up. Back here, another group. Just kind of biding their time. They're in the lead draft. They won't go a lap down before the end of the stage. Just riding it out. And leading. Did not start a race last season. Nice job. Got his teammate behind him. That's the best place to be. In the top 10 last week at Daytona. He was making the most of it. Qualify in. He did, and gets him in here, puts him squarely locked in for a looks like Conville was able to get hooked back up with the lead pack. He's at 18. in the 19 at the end of the first stage. Now it's 18, so playing out pretty similar. And there is your race leader dropping all the way to stage 1 winner. It could be a case of they took full fuel but no tires, so that's something to note. Just trying to save a set for stage 2 potentially. Also why Harris kind of dropped off a cliff in stage 1. Just trying to save a set of Goodyears. So find a way to get the sets of tires remaining, but it's our best guess. Senior, big moves in this stage. Jake Watson, Audi Blazer, a bunch of positions, and Mike McConville charging from that second pack. Now sits in 13th with the possibility of stage points on just 10 laps. They are flying through this race. 2 cautions, through the stage. That'll put us 29 cars back on the lead lap. You're a bit annoyed if you're Fr8, you're comfortably lucky dog. One car gets cycled out of the lead pack, no drafting help, and there's no more guaranteed cautions after lap 60. We'll probably get one, but it is not guaranteed. That's the entire point. Scatter a little bit back there. Looks like that is moving down the back. The 62 of Wilco. That's Bennett Allen getting used up there just a bit by the 23 of the Corn. 37 of Eli Tomlin, a little bit out of control through the tri-oval. He's just trying to let the field go by. He could, I mean, he is way off the pace. He could go and lose that spot to Fr8, and he will. Next 8 laps, if there's no caution. Fr8 drafting help, so the battle for the lucky dog is on. Let's stay with this. Fr8 has got the momentum. He's not in behind anybody, but he just has that momentum. He's 1.8, 1.7, 1.6 behind. See how aggressive Wilco wants to be. Still no drafting help. There's nothing he's going to be able to do, but Fr8 is stuck on the high line. And he'll have to follow Wilco. Well, we'll see on his relative that is the battle. I don't know if he inherently knows this for the lucky dog, but it is a battle for position nonetheless, and just put it up in the fence, and there you go. 06, your lucky dog. And that 62 is way out. Hopefully have a chance to fight back with this pack. So as long as Fr8 doesn't get an incident point when our next caution comes out, he'll be your lucky dog. What a turn of events there. It was heartbreak, now it's redemption. They should not catch Mike before the stage. 5 laps time, now 4.5 technically. It's been all Chris Davis and Sean Rogers. Let's see what Addison wants to do from 3rd, but he's your pole sitter. He said he's content to just stay in front of the chaos, but he got late movement. Those are Mike McConville. They're very quick together. Not quite hooked up, but they are both on that outside line. 53 of Moynihan's going with them. No momentum yet. We need to get it together this time by 3 laps to go for the stage, but it's forcing some movement, and just like that, momentum high sides. Up 3rd. get the run from John Crow Sr. McConville puts it in the fence. Exiting 2, he'll lose everything there. But here comes Hodison. The fence, and he's gonna get turned overcorrect into the fence. Huge hit for that 95. There's your stage, Chris Davis. Just like that, they were trying to make a move, and it's all over. So he has no choice but to tow and watch the field go by. He got nailed from somebody else after this. You can see he's kind of dancing around way up the hill. Doesn't hit anything, though. There's Bobby Blazer. Oh, and he's just going to come back down off of the bumper of Bobby Blazer. And that's a Moynihan that KOs him officially. But he was just trying to get back in line, but that truck just walked right up the hill. Back end stepped out a tiny bit on the entry and just had to walk it up the hill. He's trying to keep his spot in line. He's just going to come down, and contact was there. And he'll get, it makes matters worse. It was already going to be an overcorrect, but he bounces off the 14 machine of Jacob Carter into the fence. Blazer saves it, and Moynihan, the only other person to be involved somehow. And let's see the onboard here from that 53 of Moynihan. Right in front of him. I think a lot he could do there. Here's an interesting one. Matt Metler is going to stay out and take the stage. Davis will not win the stage here unless Metler gives it up on this second lap, but got to stay out here. Assuming if he stays out here, which he did, he's out. He's not committed to that third lane, or yeah, that lane down there. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk with him because he'll cross the line here. Let's move him in. Number 60. Move to. Here with your stage winner, Matt Metler, in the 64 truck. A little bit of strategy there to stay out and steal a stage win there. What was the mentality behind that?
Mentality was simple. I just wanted to get out front and win a stage here. Such a great group of drivers in this league, as you guys know, and I just wanted to get out there and try to win a stage. I don't make many starts in this league, but these are a great group of guys. It's highly competitive, and it was a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on that stage win. Valuable points to fall back on for the rest of this race, and go get them.
Thank you. Have a great call up top.
JGR at? Alright, we'll move him one at a time. I can't see JGR on the list there. There he is. I couldn't see him on the list. Too short of abbreviation. But he's back in there well before they went green. I think he has commentated, or actively does, or has in the past, the Sunday Night League. So there you go, Matt Metler, Stage 2 winner. He's on massively older tires. So he'll need a caution to get back in this, but he has a set saved. If they run about 10-15 laps, he can come down, get a set of tires, and he'll be A-okay. But this restart will be interesting, truthfully. If he can hang on to it, at least to turn 2, we'll see if he likes to get out of the way. But he'll go early. Oh, and you can tell there's no grip. He cannot get away. I'm curious why they want to jump down and be in that low line. The tires won't be dead. I mean, we saw him racing very competitively. It will be uncomfortable. As we are on the road to the finish now. Those stages. And And he's maintaining the lead. Forget everything I know. 30 lap old tire, it does not matter apparently. You see, yeah, it's just a little loose. Truck in the wall there. Backing up right in front. That is the 74 machine. Right in front of the 30. That was who I thought was going to win the stage, but he's in the fence and now down to 19th. Mettler still leads. Very impressive. Considering at least one person took tires, and if I imagine it, it's probably the 52. But he is doing a nice job staying power. Bit of an assist with that 44, who's been a solid pusher. He pushed that step. Oh, McConville! Hang on to it, he's not going to! Big trouble, but he's going to escape the worst of it. It's the huge one behind him. Holy smokes, that was the entire back half of the field. And they're still wrecking. There's a lot to unpack here. Kondo just drives it in, back in, steps out. And he's just going to go around a little bit of net coat there that finishes him off and sends the 24 into the fence. But he was already wrecking at this point. Stoney Benfield's going to get turned from Stacy down low. And there goes the 23 of Bacorn. Little Young's in it. Let's see here. Let's pause here. We're going to... Yeah, so there's Benfield. And Stacy Bacorn. Going to get hit there late. I don't think he's going to hit the fence too hard. So he's fine. There's a 41-23. We knew they were in it, so let's back this up. And there is a whole second half of this wreck. There's Eli Tomlin. There's Claude Furland. Kind of the first guys on the scene. And it looks like the 43 into the 34, the 37 into the 39. And it's just going to cause a track blocker. And then the 58 machine, that is Cody Morgan, is going to get sent from Mackin. That puts him into Chris Claude and Fr8, and it's a mess from behind. And I think Chris Davis missed it all. Did he actually, though? He was sneaking down there on the inside. Let's take a look at it. Bennett Allen request. We'll take a look at that. And yeah, he's just low, 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 low. Spotter's yelling low. Here's someone die behind him. He's going to miss it all. And doesn't get the off track or the unsafe pit entry. How about that? Let's take a look at Bennett Allen's POV. We'll see the first half of this wreck. There's McConville. Oh, shoot. Goes right through it. There was two separate wrecks, essentially. All started from Mike McConville, last week's winner, just getting loose in front of the field. Chain reaction after that. Nice piece of driving there by the 15. Very nice. And that's best case scenario for Matt Mettler. He gets 6 lap pressure tires and for pretty much nothing. He'll take that all day long now. I mean, that was a gift. That wasn't, I mean, that involved a numerous amount of trucks, but it was not a ton of big hits. So we shouldn't have lost a lot of people there. It was 28 on the lead lap. Giesbrecht was in it, and Crawford was in that wreck. Looks like he actually is, I think, disconnected after that. But a lot of people will still have a pretty decent working truck underneath them. So the attrition's not there yet, but there's still a whole second half of this race to go. Sean Rogers will inherit the lead. Let's see what he's got for this field here. Restart coming on lap 68. Line nowhere to be found. Hunter Kent has a gaping hole to drop down into, and he will. Now it's Moynihan in 6th, about to be 7th. That will attempt to get that outside line. Oh, just like that. There goes Jake Watson. Hunter Kent. So ignore everything I just said. Fantastic race. Oh, and that is Fr8 fighting it. What a save. What a save. That comes back in the tri-oval. That is, I believe, Andrew Stacy. Bobble there. There goes Mettler. He's got the fresh tires on. A couple of people came in to pit behind him as well, so it's that most recent caution. There's Moynihan. Bennett Allen just made it through that lap. Feeling dangerous, feeling confident. Nearly got it there back there. Could have been Blazer, but they all continue. Moynihan! And there's Bennett Allen. Can't get out of that one, and he's just praying not to get hit. Oh, Aaron Mack. And that, I think, is Beasley again. I don't think they will reflect kindly. That one specifically. But we just had looked at Bennett Allen. Great piece of driving. What happens this time? Moynihan loose, and just snaps in front of him. Not a whole lot you're going to be able to do about that one. He just drives away. He's like, all right, get me out of here. Get me out of here. Nice work there to avoid calamity. But yeah, he's just packing a little bit of air. Not anything intentional, but that touch is loose. Snaps in front of him, and then Aaron Mack, nowhere to go, turns around at 15. Mess behind as the second half of this field finds in. Stoney Benfield nowhere to go. There's Chris Claude. They get spun onto the apron. Yeah. Oh man, that was late. Caution's out there. But I mean, it's... He's just kind of driving, but he hooks a hard left before he really sees anything. Then he hits the apron. Then he's hitting the apron again, but you can tell the RPMs, I mean, he's trying to slow down, but he just... If he just stayed on the track, he would have been in a much better spot. It wouldn't have spun him out. That's just so unlucky. If you're Aaron Mack, though, I don't think it makes you feel a whole lot better. But, yeah. So the apron contributed. I'll say that, but it's just unfortunate either way. And then look here at what got. Actually, let's look at Benfield. That's the one. Yeah, he just kind of... He saw him going up a bit, and then he went back down. And just couldn't avoid that 31 machine. I can appreciate looking at these cautions. And by the time I review everything, we're back to 1 to go. So that's a nice feeling. Out of the race, Diego Rodriguez, John Crow Sr., who was running pretty well up to the end of the second stage, disconnected right before because of that wreck. What happened to him? But he's out. Looks like John Crawford is out due to the first wreck right after the stage. Still running in laps down, Richard Pruitt, Aaron Mack, Logan Giesbrecht, Mitchell Davies, and Matt Mackin and Jamie Beasley are on pit road trying to get those cars repaired and steal leads that they can. Back underway, Sean Rogers still your race leader. Jake Watson moved to the bottom there. Richard Kent still looking for some help. It formed in the second half of the speed lap, and then same thing here. Hodison going to pull out this time. And Paris there as well. It's 3 against 2. Top has the advantage. Hodison flying with help from Hunter Kent. Jake Watson to the aid of Sean Rogers. Dead heat at the line there. You'll also see drivers that have a 17X, they will have to serve a penalty. So if you see anyone randomly pitting, it could be for a number of things, also reaching the penalty incident limit. We were confused about that last week, but if you have a 17X, an incident count. And usually we see it get that during the caution, so they'll restart and then have a couple of laps to serve it after the restart. Oh, 45 got shipped off the bumper to the 52. He's going to hold it. 3 wide all by himself. Dangerous spot in the tri-oval. He will hold it. All the momentum's at the top side of the racetrack. Sean Rogers comes up to pick up. And just like that, Hunter Kent to the bottom. Look at Jake Watson through the middle, 3 wide to lead. Off of turn number 3, just like that. Sean Rogers, no help, smoking the tri-oval. That's Richard Pruitt nailing the outside wall through the tri-oval. Somehow kept it going straight. Sean Rogers into the fence now himself. Trying to hang on in the closing third of this race. Look at Richard. Did not even qualify. Knew he had the points. And he is leading here. Very nearly led at the line. Jake Watson just got him by a nose. .56 to go this time by. And we flew through the first 60, so they keep it green. Let's see what happens, but they have been very antsy since the second stage. You can tell more of the pack staying together. It's now 24. He's actually able to get his laps back. He's now back on the lead lap and in the lead draft, more importantly. So he's starting to squirm around a little bit. Looks like that just had a moment. Oh, that was leaving pit road. Let's see here. Oh, he just stopped. Richard Pruitt at the very tail end of the field. He's technically in the same pack, so the lucky dog is between those two. Stony Benfield, though, will soon go a lap down as he is the last truck. 4. And they are all right here, all in the tri-oval. Aaron Mack and Pruitt will catch Benfield because they are in the lead draft. Not quite up to speed, fully at least. Gonna catch him at kind of an awkward angle, so he'll just be forced to stay as high as he can. Just so sketchy at Atlanta, but he'll nearly put it in the and he will. He might even be able to catch the tail end of this pack, maybe, if he got the truck underneath him. But I don't think he does, as he's just kind of let them all go on by. Aaron Mack, still your lucky dog. He's actually up here in this pack, though, so Richard Pruitt, Aaron Mack is involved in it, so he can just slam on the brakes as long as he doesn't lose out to Benfield. He'd be the lucky dog if Aaron Mack's caught up in a wreck, because he is up there trying to help his teammates. Chris clawed an issue in the back, and he is way down. So caution. Let's take a look here. Huh. I don't understand that one. Oh, something is broke. Some sort of mechanical failure, or not sure. Truck's broke, or his wheel, or something's broke on that 10 machine. Either, so we'll have to qualify again when we come back. I believe to obviously. We're off for 2 weeks, and then we'll go to Las Vegas. And for some guys to show some real speed. Quad pits. And I'll give it to Beasley. He's involved in 2 incidents. Which he ran to the back. Oh, make it 3. That is rude to the lap truck. Yellow is out. Oh, they're wrecking after the yellow. Someone just nailed the inside wall. That's Bennett Allen, and he's got smoke rising. Aaron Mack also looks to be involved, which is what we said. So Richard Pruitt, assuming he wasn't in this whatsoever. Oh, he was right. It's going to be so close for the lucky dog here. It could even go to Benfield if he made contact. It's so close. Give it to the 24, your lucky dog. Aaron Mack was trying to get up in there, up in the mix. And he will lose. This was after the yellow, too. What? Yeah, I was going to say, Beasley's still running. I was going to give him credit for still being out there, but it just doesn't give the 52 enough room. Just a... He qualified in. So... He's deserved to be here on speed, but just has not gone the way he wanted to. And so at this point, they're still okay. I mean, they're going to be broken up, but they're alive. Yellow is thrown because it's a dangerous situation. I completely agree with the yellow there. That could have gone way worse. And then it did get worse after the yellow was already thrown with Aaron Mack. In that 31 machine, where did he end up in all of this? Right here. Let's see here what happens. So they're all scattering. There's no yellow. And is it just netcode, though, that bumps him up? And he's a little bit out of shape. Here comes Andrew Stacy. And it's just kind of a big old mumbled up mess. And they'll eventually get turned. And there goes Aaron Mack. Bennett Allen. Hard luck for both of them. They were mostly by it. Great luck, though, if you're Richard Pruitt. So this will make them good on fuel as well. So no natural green flag pit stops. It's Atlanta, so not the most expected thing. Get the 1 to go signal here. Jake Watson has looked strong in the second half of this race. Here's Cody Morgan up here in second. Where did he come from? Eli Tomlin, Ron Fitting. Rich Jett, so a topsy-turvy top 5 here late. The 45 laps to go, 44 when we get the restart. Here we go. Back underway, 44 laps to go. Jake Watson, a heck of a restart. Where was everybody else? Cody Morgan, big aggressive move to get the low line there. Ron Fitting to lead the top line. Eli Tomlin to second. He's got to run. He's going to take it. Around the outside, here comes Ron Fitting in the 40. 47 leads at the line. Oh, Morgan, hang on to it. And he does. Well held by Cody Morgan. Not what he's going to want with 40 laps to go. He gets a caution. Be back in. He's got a truck in one piece. Got a Sean Rogers fan in here. He's 8th place right now. Top of 3 wide. Oh, and there's trouble. Nearly trouble. How? It still might be trouble. Eli Tomlin nearly came up and got the 45. Now Rogers through the middle, 3 wide. On board with him here. Bouncing off of each other, and there's going to be a wreck right in front of them. Huge wreck. How about that? Oh, and on board with Matt Metler, and he gets it at the end there. How about that? Sean Rogers fan gave us one of the best shots so far. We're on board. Watch him fly through the middle. Take a look here. They were bouncing off of each other, and this looks to be... Does he get help washing up the track? Let's see. Oh, so the 37 actually, that's a weird angle to be entering at there. You can see if 37 is coming down, the 77 goes up the tiniest bit, but the 37 is coming down more. They're going to collect Will Young And let's see here. Where did everybody end up? Eli Tomlin, Claude Furlan, McConville's going to get a tiny piece of this. There's Hodison who gets the worst of it. Tane Hodison, your pole sitter. Right front. Destroyed, and we were on board with him there. Matt Metler just going to get hooked by Claude Furlan. More damage there at the end. Engine, transmission, smoke pouring out of the back of that 45. You lose a couple more drivers here, and you hate it for your pole sitter. And it will be about 35 laps to go, just quite nearly 35 to go. Start here. Watson Manufacturing on the back of the Jake Watson machine seems quite fitting. Guys gonna top off for fuel, and if they got them, maybe some tires. Just take that last set and do 40 laps to the finish, 35 to the finish. Not a terrible idea. We've seen them last just about that long, but I imagine we wad some more stuff up. Just like that, though, you're barely gonna have a couple trucks just beat that pace car off. So you can tell these guys are trying to get damage fixed, so on and so forth. And Hodison obviously will not be among them. 25 trucks, 24 on the lead lap. Lights are off on top of the pace car. Pace car is off. Jake Watson in front of the field. 24 trucks on the lead lap through the Geico restart zone with back underway. Great restart for the top two. Third on back. Gonna have some work to do to catch up, but they will get there in the draft. Don't want to get too far out in front, though, and allow that third place truck, especially on the last lap, make you commit to a move you might not want to. But if that third place truck is stuck side by side, he can't go anywhere. In front of the 52, so he's going to have someone behind him pushing, but Paris going to make that move. That's teammates. Hunter Kent, Jeremy Paris. Looks like problems further back for your defending champion. He just hits the apron. It just loops on him, man. This is not the first time we've seen that. He is Eli Tomlin, Matt Metler coming in, potentially have reached the incident limit and serving a penalty. Just like that, we go from 24 to 22, and he'll be a lap down shortly. Will Young kind of at the back. Paris, with help from his teammate, leads by a car length and a half. Inside. 35 laps to go when they cross the stripe. Still smoke all over the place. I think that was Chris Quad again, just having issues. He's still well out of the way. It's looking like a very competitive top 16. Moynihan's had some damage. He's about 1.2 seconds off the back of that draft, side by side with the 07 machine. Davies, but he's fighting back. He was 6, and he's now only 2 or 3. Trying to pull a Michael McDowell. As now Watson leads on the inside. Look at Sean Rogers, he wants the lead. Conville back up there. He's had an eventful day, but he's got his teammate behind him. That is Michael Witt into the wall in the 88 truck from Conville. 3 wide through the middle around Jake Watson. And down in front to Leeds. Power move there from Conville. Trying to make it 2 in a row. Moves are going to be happening pretty much. Oh man, that was contact. Contact. That was board check right there. Well held by both drivers. 44 might be a little hot there under the helmet. He's going to be forced to push the 05. Easy to stay with the action when it's right there. McConville slides up just a little bit. Really showed that left rear to Watson. Oh, he's going to turn the 05. Let's take a look. Was this payback? I don't know. Don't want to take yourself out at the front of the field, but I mean, right in behind him, goes up. Man. Let's see here. I mean, it wasn't square. They just got 44 just kind of keeps going up, and he's never off of him, and he just immediately gets into the right rear. I'm not going to say it's, intentional, but it just was very decisive, very quick. He didn't get off of him and then just hook a left, but it just was not connected whatsoever. Bennett Allen gets a piece there. That hits the right front and trouble. The 50th, John Wilco and Bennett Allen. Bennett Allen has had a lot going on tonight as well. If you got a set of tires, still, if you were able to save, then now's the time to take them. Let's see here. Let's just kind of go on board here with people. Big Watson's got us set. See if Andrew Stacy. There is Sean Rogers. Yeah, Stacy's got a set. Sean Rogers has it set. I haven't seen tires go on here for Chris Davis. Fr8 has a set. The 88, Michael Wood has one, so on and so forth. But yeah, they were able to save a set till the very end, so it's going to make for an interesting strategy here with it'll nearly be 25 laps to go, just about. It's a hard lick there, so yeah, I imagine Paris has got some big repairs. A lot of people on pit road. Such is life with no fast repairs. Lights are off on top of the pace car. Somebody just blew a motor. I imagine that was somebody on pit road. Looks like we'll have 20 trucks on the lead lap here. It's about, nearly half the field. I think it's about the same as last week. Or to the end of this sucker. 32nd through 36th out of the race, 31st through 21st in varying states of disrepair or out. Top 20 on the lead lap. We'll see if those guys with tires, looks like 6 through the rest of the field actually came in, but not all of them took tires. We'll see if anyone flies to the front here. The 8 caught napping there a bit. Good restart for the 44. Also for McConville, Bobby Blazer. They'll be lined up top and should be able to make moves. 27 laps left in this race. Not counting any potential overtime. Everybody's good on the field. Hunter Kent, Sean Roberts, and Blazer, but those are the longest stops to go. Plenty of good on field. Tires, there's another question, though, at this point, compared to everyone else around them. After a 12-minute repair job, leaves pit road with pole fitter stuck down in 30th. I said he was out, just kidding. Still getting repaired. Now in the first truck, 1 lap down. Claude Furland is in. Lead lap, they're all in the lead draft. There are 24 laps to go. Conville is lurking. He dominated and held everybody off. He's going to have to make some moves here in the end. Hunter Kent has been dominant. Sean Rogers, Jake Watson have been in there. Rich Jett, second half of the race strong. On fitting Andrew Stacy Minto. Minto started 10th and just had a very quiet night, trying to avoid the chaos, looking for a solid finish here. Pruitt, same thing. Take care of their equipment. And as long as catastrophe doesn't try to look at that top. How much grip do these tires have left? Because there's 3 different groups. Pretty sure how I want it to. No, not quite. But 89 for Hunter Kent, 106. 89. Not the best graphic, but see how close it gets. These last 20 laps run green. Put some strain on these tires a little bit. See you can hang on to it. Cody Morgan from 32nd to 2nd. To the lead, and then it's 20 to go. Lost lost Will Young from this pack, make it 18 trucks to settle it. Trying to cover both lanes, top to bottom, bottom to top. Kent with a run. Got a little squirrely there. And he's right up on the back bumper of that 40 machine. Nearly got shipped off the nose of the 52. Laps to go. The top 18's got a shot at it. Fr8 starting to drop back just a bit, though. By design, he's been involved in a couple of incidents tonight. Jake Watson will be able to get back in there. Down the sucker hole for a moment. A lot of 2x2. We will see a third line form at some point. No stats to go off of last year for Jake Watson. And we got trouble. There's John Wilco back end lifted off the ground. Somehow only a one-car incident. Looks like he'll have that there in the corner. He should be able to continue. Net code there, probably. 62 drifts up just a little bit. 23's got more room in the center of the corner. Tries to pick up a spot in line. And yeah, there's no contact made when he starts turning. He's simply going to turn. Good news there for Will Young, who was losing the draft. Bennett Allen, it's the lucky dog. And now if you got a set of tires, you better bolt it on, which a couple of people back here are going to do. Bacorn, a little bit of damage. We'll see if anyone back here can pull off a shocker with tire management. Didn't see tires go on Bacorn. There's the 07 laps down. 31 has got tires, but he is laps down. There's Chris Davis. I didn't see him take tires last time, but Will Young. See any tires going on anybody here? Woody Morgan finished 35th at Daytona. Completing only 33 laps. Looking to rectify all issues here immediately in the week after. Get the restart here with about 14 to go. There's a lot of people gonna have to make some runs off pit road. Maybe Paris, Joe Davies not able to do so. Hodison's still there. Beasley still in. Matt Mackin has been there for 38 minutes. Has not moved. Right on time of the pace car. It is 14 laps to go on the restart. 20 trucks back on the lead lap. First truck a lap down is Stoney Benfield. He is 2 down along with Matt Metton. Benfield is only 1 lap down. Excuse me. He is is just catching back up. To go. Cody Morgan started 32nd. Rich Jett did not qualify. Jake Watson started 20th. Hunter Kent started 2nd. John Rogers started 19th. His car is off. 14 to go. Cody Morgan is back underway. Versus 2 on the bottom versus the top. Down the back straightaway drag race. Only 4 cars on that top line. As far as entering the lane, but now it's all organized. Essentially, 14 their act together. Set 2 rows of 7. Or 7, excuse me. Kind of just back here straggling, just hoping for a lead lap finish potentially. Still get a top 20, make them locked in for Vegas in a couple of weeks, hopefully. The top 14, their eyes are on a win. Top 14 separated by 8 tenths of a second. 12 to go. All the stragglers not making any headway. 1.2 off the pace. Trying to hang on. See if he can get that draft. He's 1 second behind, making incremental gains. Trying to add another car to the mix. Look at Hunter Kent and his stats from last season and how well he was able to make moves at Daytona. That'll be someone to watch. Watson, free agent, no affiliation, he'll just go for the win himself. Morgan Jack Dow Motorsports, but I don't think there's any other Jack Dow. Let me double check. Tony Burt was not here tonight. Blocking the whole field behind him, coming to 9 laps to go. Rich Jett, Back Row Motorsports. John Rogers. It's a whole mix of teams up here. Andrew Stacy, Questionable Motorsports. Same team. And 8 laps to go. Took care of his truck all night long. Did not qualify at Daytona. Did not qualify here. But has made his way to the front both times. And is in position right now in 2nd. John Rogers has been very strong tonight. As has Hunter Kent. See what kind of move this 77 makes, though. Will he be willing to push that? Win potentially, lap truck in front of him, because he's not going to get through on the bottom. He's going to have to make a move to the high side here. 52 way loose off the bumper of the 90. He's going to get forced to make a move 3 wide. Got his teammates coming behind him. Hunter Kent is going to get shuffled out. That's a very good driver, very good pusher to shuffle out. Just trying to hang on to it. Sean Rogers trying to hang on to it. Flat out. Nearly out of control. Jake Watson lost his help. Blazer trying to get there. Still, 77 committed to that bottom. Here's Andrew Stacy in the 65. Up to third. Outside line trying to get organized. They're all over the place. How about Michael Witt? Quiet night. But he is in position here late. Coming to 5 laps. Does that top have anything? They're getting closer. Bobby Blazer, solid push to the back bumper of that 40. 58 committed to the bottom. 77 committed to the ground. Caution is out. Oh, what happened? I don't even see who wrecked. It said somebody entered the pit lane. What happened here? Oh, that's why iRacing didn't throw it. It happened. Yeah, no, unfortunately. Why did it say he wrecked? That's an interesting one. It literally did not say that he had wrecked. That's a crazy one there. All right. Derek McCorn. Oh, they're trying to avoid the lap truck. Oh, man, he has got to commit to the apron there. I think. He's a couple laps down from this. He's way at the top. 23 commits to the bottom. Oh, that is rough with less than 5 to go. 23 runs up the hill, old tires. Bounces under the wall. There's Moynihan. He's just going to get turned in front of the race control. Yeah, I mean, that's a caution all day long. 100%. iRacing. Why didn't it say that? It's like, no, that's not a wreck. That's good. They're still driving. So that'll put us into overtime. My goodness. Well, it should next time by officially. Or naturally? We'll see. But it's not going to give that outside line any time to make moves. Looks like Benfield is the lucky dog. In the 75 machine. These voice channels. Ron Fitting by himself in Grease Monkey Motorsports. What can he do from 9th by himself? Fr8 Motorsports got Minto, McConville, Blazer all inside the top 10. They're looking really good. Cody Morgan is your race leader. Hunter Kenton, none of his teammates up there at the moment. Don Rogers, Chris Davis will be close together on this restart. Jake Watson will not have his teammate near him, but that's actually good to know that he joined. Yeah, all right, so we'll update his. He is in the team of Bandit Racing, so we can get that updated for next week. Lights are on top of the pace car. You see there, green-white checkered, 1 of 3. 3 attempts that are green-white checkered. If they rack on the first or second attempt before getting back to the white, we'll re-rack them. And it's not like our Friday Night Rod Car broadcasts in the past. If they rack on the third attempt before getting back to the white, race is official there. However, if on any of the 3 attempts they rack after taking the white flag, they will race it back, unlike NASCAR. Week to week in real life, so we'll see if it changes here. $19 trucks on the lead lap. Benfield was 2 laps down, so he's now 1 lap down, hoping for one more caution. These are all real drivers. Everyone here is real, connected to the race from wherever in the world. They're duking it out. 135 laps wasn't enough. They need some more. Pace car, Cody Morgan's been getting good restarts. He's got Jake Watson behind him. Rich Jet has Bobby Blazer behind him. That'll be a tough pair up top. Here we go. Green flag in the air. Overtime number 1 here for the Fr8 208. Top is more connected. 90's closer to the 77. They are all going to form up top. 65 going to lead the low line. They are all stacked up top. 77 in the defense. Look at the 40 making a move. 58 trying to block 3 lanes. It's not going to work. 3 wide down the back. And just like that, 58 shuffled out. Could not block him. Oh, there goes the 88. And the 8 of McConville. Yellow's out instantly. We'll re-rack him for a second attempt. Race is not over. Bobby Blazer will be your leader. They are still wrecking there. And that was just a mess. You feel for Cody Morgan, who was in control, it looked like. Then had to deal with the restart and chaos behind him as 3 lanes formed down the back straightaway, unable to block them all. But all the energy's up top immediately after the restart, and they are just going at it. 40's going to get a run, make the move. 58 cannot cover that off. Slams into the side. That allows the 90 to get to his outside, 3 wide. And then he's forced to try and block. 88 says, no, thank you. And actually, it is the 88 coming down that's going to turn himself, actually. Mike McConville, nowhere to go. And then they're still hitting each other with broken trucks. 44, 58, contact all over the place. Big hit there. 58, I think, might be broken. So took out a lot of trucks with that. We'll see who's left. Go on board here with McConville. Forces an defense. Yeah, steering broke. It will not be back-to-back for Michael McConville. Mike McConville. Steering looks, that's not what we want, is it? There we go. Yeah, steering looks pretty broke here on the 58 as well. Trying to correct it, right? Yeah, steering broke there on the 58. Let's see who else had a piece of this. Sean Rogers, I think. 52 maybe. Steering somehow held on. Your chaos coming to the white. We'll re-rack him for attempt number 2. Who is left? 18 cars on the lead lap. Thought it'd be less, actually. And Stony Benfield does get that caution. He's back on the lead lap. Bobby Blazer, your leader. Jake Watson, 2nd. Andrew Stacy, 3rd. Brandon Minto, 4th. Hunter Kent, 5th. Ron Fitting, 6th. Sean Rogers, 7th. Rich Jet, 8th. Kristen Davis, 9th. CJ Erdman, 10th. Gabriel Lafrene, 11th. Richard Pruitt, 12th. John Wilco, 13th. Stony Benfield, 14th. Cody Morgan, 15th. Daniel Moynihan, 16th. Will Young, 17th. And Bennett Allen, 18th. Those are your lead lap trucks. If they take the white, anything can happen. Bennett Allen way back here. You have a shot if the whole field wads it up. We'll see. They gotta complete 1 lap to make the race official, though, to get back. Gotta take the white flag. Next truck laps down is Matt Bettler. Multiple laps on a caution doesn't really do a whole lot for him. He is the only one running his laps down first. Here we go. Bobby Blazer back underway. Attempt number 2 at overtime. It is Minto blinking out pretty severely. He's back now. Momentum on the bottom this time. Last restart it was the top. They realized it did not work. Here we go. Minto going to try and take that momentum to the top side. Andrew Stacy pushing hard. Second on the bottom. Hunter Kent trying to get up there, but has to settle for the third lane. Sean Rogers up the track, spinning out. He's going to collect some cars. Can they get back? They're wrecking. White flag. Race is official. They didn't throw it. It wasn't in time. There's 7 trucks left for the finish. Chris Davis is in 7th. The whole finish is right here. It is Bobby Blazer on the bottom. Brandon Minto up top. Stacy pushing on the bottom. Watson up top with Ron Fitting. And here we go for the final time for 3 and 4. Bobby Blazer and Minto. Minto has the run off of 4, and Minto's gonna win. Bobby Blazer second, Jake Watson third. Ron Fitting, Andrew Stacy, Hunter Kent, and Chris Davis, the lead pack to finish. And they're still, I think, trying to finish to complete their 140th lap. Cody Morgan and Rich Jett, I believe, all trying to get there. The teammates 1-2. And I think this chaos started with Sean Rogers through 3 and 4. The caution was not thrown. He's just loose the entire corner and loses control. Takes the 77 there. 77 spins out in front of the field. Surprised the caution wasn't thrown, but I guess since it was so close to the white, they just said whatever. That takes out Fr8. Comes back up the track, and there's everybody else. 44 goes flying. And it's kind of a case of, you know, there's 11 trucks. Yeah, there's the race. Here's the battle at the top 7. Minto with the push from Watson. They're not connected on the bottom. They'll get the side draft a little bit. They just have the momentum. They'll fly by on the outside. Brandon Minto started P10, will get the win here this evening. No wins last season, but that changes in race number 2. Let's go ahead, and I think they're all hopefully here. Let's go see. Waiting on our race winner. Where's he at? I moved him there. All right, here we go. Let's get your race winner up in here. Here with your race winner, Brandon Minto. Back-to-back weeks for Fr8 Motorsports, dominating the plate track. It's a 1-2 for you guys, and you pick up your first win of 2025 in a thriller.
Yeah, that was a pretty fun race. There was a few wrecks here and there, but it wasn't as bad as a lot of the races we've had at tracks like this. There's just really nowhere to go. It's kind of, you just have to go too wide and just hope a lane stacks up, and I kind of lucked out, and then I was able to avoid all the wrecks. It's just a lot of luck, and the teammates helping a lot. Bobby, Mike, Stoney ended up getting taken out pretty early, so he was just trying to get his laps back and everything. But he was able to get back on the lead lap, and I think he got a P11, so P11 or 12. So it was an overall really good night for Fr8.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking at your stats last season, just getting used to everybody. 22 starts, 7 top 5, so a very consistent season. But only in race 2, you finally broke through with that win, so you got that off your back, and you can kind of just relax a little bit through the regular season and just go for it, I suppose, now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still gonna show up every single week, try to collect a few more wins, try to get Fr8 as many wins as we can, and hopefully we can try to get Bobby and Stoney a win so they can guarantee their way into the playoffs, and we'll have all 4 of us in the playoffs. And yeah, it's nice getting a win early in the season, like you were saying, because I can just kind of drive and relax and not have to stress out all race trying to get a win, making sure I'm good for for the playoffs. But no, this was a lot of fun tonight.
Yeah, first half of the race was great, intense finish to the stages, a lot of green flag running, a little chippy in the second half. But you were just kind of under the radar, quiet, just saying, all right, the stages are over. We got a long way to go to the finish. Kept that truck in one piece, and sure enough, you come out a winner. Congratulations, and we'll let you get any shout-outs in if you have any.
Absolutely. I'll give a shout out to my parents. They tune in every single week. Thank you for watching. My brother, he tunes in as well. Got to give a shout out to my teammates. They were great overall. Bobby, Mike McConville, Stoney Benfield, and then a lot of my friends from work tuning in. PJ, Rich, Braden, Scar. Oh my goodness, my heart's still racing right now. That was a lot of fun. I want to give a shout out to y'all for putting on the broadcast.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations again, and we'll have a nice little 2-week break. We'll see you back here for Las Vegas.
Yes, sir. See you then.
Here with your runner-up tonight, Bobby Blazer drove a fantastic race. Started in 26th, finished second, but was ever present in the top 5, top 10, whole last half of that race. Second's tough, but I guess when losing to your teammate makes it a tiny bit better. But a 1-2 for the team. Solid night for you guys.
Yeah, man. I don't really care about winning or losing. I just want to have fun, and I had a lot of fun. So that's all that really matters to me. And Randy deserves it. He's a good dude, and he's like been more than helpful for me in the last year and a half, since I don't have as much time to put into this iRacing as a whole. So he also hit a bunch of stuff, and the least I could do is not hit the crap out of him out of 4 there. So.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, drove a great race. Was very competitive at Daytona as well. So the drafting tracks definitely a plus for you guys. Get that under control. And yeah, just able to avoid all the chaos from starting 26. Well managed race and a well deserved podium. So congratulations, and we'll let you get any shout outs in if you have any.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I enjoy like the super speedway racing. I didn't necessarily enjoy this. Like, it's like log jammy, where Daytona is log jammy to an extent, but this is just so much more brutal. So there were some moves I had to make that last 20 laps that like I don't like to do. It's kind of whatever, but you got to do it. And it sucks too, because Chris and everybody that's part of this league and you broadcasting it put a lot of effort into it, and it sucks that sometimes the standard of racing isn't maybe what it could be. To have lap cars interfering in the race and stuff like that is just, I know it's the second week and been a little bit of downtime, but like it's disappointing, man, because this race could have been a lot more interesting strategy wise if lap cars could figure out what they were doing and people had a little bit more patience. And a lot of these guys here, like, they only have time to run Monday and Tuesday nights. They don't necessarily have time to go and practice 6 hours a week, but they can hold lines, they can be steady, and they just want to have fun. And there's a lot of people in here that don't have that mindset. So it sucks that some people got taken out early, or people just get too aggressive at these super speedways. But yeah, I mean, I appreciate what Chris does. I appreciate you for broadcasting, and I think it's cool. You picked up this league, and I'm excited to see what it does for you and the blossom that sort of comes from it continuing to be broadcasted. But I want to thank my sponsor, Blaze Vintage. He doesn't really do clothing anymore, but he does lots of cool stuff with cameras, and you should definitely check him out. Shout out Money House Graphics, who made this nice paint at Austin. It's a throwback Kevin Harvick paint that I just never really changed. Shout out to Brandon again. He deserves this win, man. He gives me a lot of help, and he's like the model teammate. So I wouldn't want anybody else to win. That's a quote-unquote teammate. Jake, too, he was clean coming in the line. Everybody up front had a good finish there, so nothing corny. Appreciate you, appreciate Chris, and I don't know when the next time I'll see y'all, but hopefully I get to talk to you more in the future.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations. Solid race. And yeah, P2, hopefully we'll see you back here at Las Vegas in a couple of weeks. Congratulations
Yes,
again. Yeah, but just quick before we pull Jake in, yeah, the potential is there. I mean, the first 2 weeks, you can definitely see there's a little bit of patience issues and whatnot. Some people it's isolated, but the first half of this race, fantastic. Nothing 3-4 wide until they needed it at the end there. But we'll spread them out at Las Vegas in a couple of weeks. We'll let the drivers show up. and gonna have some speed to compete. So looking forward to it. Couldn't be happier with what we've seen in the first couple of weeks. So let's go ahead and get your third place finisher in here. Here with Jake Watson in the 40 truck, a solid race from your point of view. Kept that thing in one piece the entire night. Was quick, nearly inside the top 10, top 5 the entire second half of the race, and had a shot to win it in the final couple of restarts.
Yeah, no, it was pretty good. I'm not used to running these mile and a halves, but you know, it's a fun thing to do. Unfortunately, I didn't have that much help at the end there. I kind of got left to dry, but you know, I'm happy with the P3 for my first start.
Absolutely, they knew you were there. Just needed a little bit more help, but not for lack of trying. And just any shout outs you got?
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to Derek Bacorn for recommending this league. Unfortunately, he got taken out during the middle of the race and just couldn't ever get back up there. But other than that, Watson Manufacturing, Sunbelt Rentals, and you guys for putting on the broadcast.
Really appreciate the kind words. We'll see you 2 weeks. Hope you Las Vegas. Take care.
Awesome, thank you.
And that'll do it for your top 3. I'll put out some feelers for to do some team interviews, hopefully, when we get to Las Vegas. But just put it out there in the air for everybody. Yeah, appreciate everyone tuning in tonight. It's cool to hear the shout outs. You know, we got my family watching. We got, siblings, parents. It's all pretty cool stuff. Yeah, we'll take 2 weeks off. I lied to him. We'll take 2 weeks off, then we go to Vegas. So we'll take a couple weeks off, follow the real life schedule. And we'll see everybody at Las Vegas in 3 weeks. Maybe a couple of Wreckfest streams here and there in between that. But, yeah, we're down to Tuesday nights only. So we'll put all of our energy into this. So looking forward to it. And, yeah, check out their Sunday night NASCAR, Monday night NASCAR. And then us here on Tuesdays. Don't forget about the Truck Series. They put on a heck of a first half of this race. Finish was good. We love to see the full field. I know Las Vegas isn't a drafting track, but I'd love to see everyone come on out in a couple weeks here at Las Vegas. Y'all take care. Have a great week, and we'll see you at Las Vegas. Y'all take care.